This is the 1, 2, 3 wise men. We three friends on a podcast together again. This is the 1, 2, 3 wise men. We talk about what's been going on and what's happening. This is the 1, 2, 3 wise men. We got Dro, Credo, DJ Plan. We are the 1, 2, 3 wise men. We are the 1, 2, 3 wise men. This is the 1, 2, 3 wise men.
Look, there's the 3 wise men.
Happy New Week, everybody. Welcome to episode 2 of the 3 Wise Men podcast. On this panel, broadcasting live and direct from our home studios, I am Joe Breeze, live from Washington State. We have the main man, DJ Blends, live from Victoria, BC, and the one and only Creto, live from Illinois. What up, gentlemen? What's good? Hope all is well this week.
Yes, sir.
Buddy?
What's the plan? What's the plan?
Man, so
how are you guys feeling today?
Feeling great, man. Another day, another fucking dollar we don't have.
Another dollar.
Another day of cutting the lawn. Was it the lawn you said? Did you cut the lawn again?
Yep. Every Saturday, bro.
You got to do it every week. Be on top of it.
Extra workout after the whole week of work, eh?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, straight up. It started actually raining towards the end, and I was like, fuck it, I got to finish it. I can't leave it like fucking half mode.
Man, at least you got to do it, man. My fucking battery fucking died halfway, and my lawn is like half tall grass, half cut, and it's pouring rain out here right now.
It broke down your Roby?
No, it just the battery died, right?
Oh,
so I didn't actually. I thought I had a charge, but it really didn't charge, man. So you know how it is, man.
I thought you didn't get the Ryobi one. I thought you got the Eagle one.
No, I got the Eagle trimmer. The Eagle trimmer, for the.
Oh, okay.
For the hedges, the weeds and stuff.
Yeah, and stuff. It's pretty damn good, man. Highly recommended sponsorship if you guys are listening. Yeah, man, we have a lot of things.
I'm sponsored by Ryobi. Okay, keep going.
You get paid every time you actually mention it. Man, we got a lot of crazy things to talk about, man. I mean, a lot of things have been going around, as you're aware. You know, we have the whole, Black Lives Matter thing going on. We have a lot of new music. We have, Nicki Minaj with 6ix9ine, and we're going to talk about that. We also have Creto talking about a movie that he saw on Netflix that he wants to talk about, about the cumbias and the movie in Mexico. And we got Blends. He wants to talk about, Dave Chappelle's 846. I know Creto hasn't had the opportunity to watch it, but some of you listeners who have actually listening right now probably seen it a couple of times. It's pretty damn good. So, I mean, what do you guys want to start off with here for all the people listening?
Here's a different thing. I was going to ask you this one. The YG video of FTP. What'd you think of that, Drew? I know you're a big fan, so I'll let you answer that one.
I've always been a big fan of YG. A little bit because he's from the West Coast, but mostly because I like the messages. It's always been direct and kind of political. I'm into that stuff right now. I've been to that stuff for a while, right? I saw the video, not the video, but the making of the video. It's funny how he actually took advantage of the entire protest.
I got some backlash about that.
He was actually originally, from what I heard, he was planning on filming it, but they got a lot of threats. So they canceled that video session. Yeah. But then he just, randomly, he just stepped into the crowd and he started doing that video in the middle of, it's pretty, I haven't seen the video, but the song is pretty good. It's the same thing.
So you're saying it was spontaneous? So did he shoot it with like his iPhone or something or what?
No, it was like a legit video, but they had a threat from what I heard that they had to cancel the video session. Some people were threatening him. I don't know who it was, but he just just randomly, middle of the protest, he just came with his crew and they just started filming.
I think it's because it was against what they're trying to do, with all Black Lives Matter. He did a video called FTP, F the police, pretty much, right? Yeah, so it was kind of going against what they're standing for. I think that's what the problem was.
Yeah. They're preaching peace, and he's over there yelling "fuck everybody."
Exactly. Something like that.
But the rage is there, man. I would say, man.
Yeah, you gotta find a way to get it out.
Everybody.
At the end of the day, being vocal doesn't mean it's just speaking your mind, right? You're not unless he starts throwing punches and fucking kicking and shit, then that's different, right? But
yeah, totally.
It's a freedom of speech, right?
Exactly, bro.
It's just getting the point across.
Just like you see all these fucking, which is something that pisses me off, man. That all these fucking Trump supporters or KKKs fucking at the Black Lives Matter things, and it's dude,
counter protesting. Did you see that?
Yeah,
I saw that. The counter protesting.
And it's fucking everywhere, bro. And it's what the fuck, man? Just let people do whatever the fuck they're doing.
It's fucking crazy, man. It's like
But again, sorry to interrupt, bro. At the end of the day, I mean, it's freedom of speech. They can do that, right? You know what I mean? So
yeah, I mean, it's complicated topic, man. Everybody has their own views on it. Bro. But like I said, like I don't know if Blends has been watching that, but yeah, there's been a lot of counter protests where they're now starting to come out and speak out, and they're actually attending, and then they're saying, "Hey, go back to your country," blah blah blah, this and that.
Yeah, a lot of videos.
Or like go back to Africa or some shit like that. It's just messed up, man. It's so much division right now. I don't even think an election is actually truthfully going to help anything, man. I just think it's going to, boil the fucking tipping point, right?
It's going to be interesting to watch, see what happens. Totally around that time.
Man, it's just crazy, man.
Yeah, it's going to
be. Can you imagine so many different scenarios on election day in November? All like how this shit is going to play out. Either side is going to be pissed. That's how I see it. I mean, some people have their own opinion on that, but what do you guys think?
Man, I see. I hate to comment on like political shit because
like that, yeah.
Because my views are so out there that like people are like just think that I'm fucking crazy when I'm talking. But I'm the type of person, bro, that thinks that it doesn't matter who the fuck becomes president, who becomes a leader. We're all like, it's all going to be the same bullshit that is always
same bullshit, just delivered differently.
At the end of the day, they're just puppets to a fucking bigger fucking. I
agree with you, man. I always saw it like they're just a CEO.
True.
I always saw the president like a spokesperson for whoever's controlling the shit. And they just
bro. Like, they're just the face, really.
Yeah, man. And that comes to another topic. I don't know if you guys have seen the video out there of that. We have a person. Her name is Karina Rodriguez from Arizona, and she actually was confronted by this white lady at the gas station. I don't know if you guys saw that video. I wish we could show the clip, but unfortunately, we can't on this thing. But
I'm going to be real with you. I never actually saw the video, but I saw the video, but I didn't actually click it and watch it. Like I saw that it went viral and shit. Though.
So she's basically with her husband at this gas station in the middle of nowhere, Arizona, right? And then this white lady's just hollering at her, saying all these things about, hey, fuck you, go back to your country. But then this lady, she doesn't take it. You know how everybody talks about that crazy carrying white lady, on the phone, calling the police and shit. Anyways, this lady's confronting her, and then this Mexican girl doesn't talk. I mean, she talks back. And then eventually the lady comes up to her, and then this fucking Mexican girl just slaps the fuck out of her and told her, don't fucking touch me. And then the husband came out later on TMZ, and he was crying, saying, oh, it's just mental illness, this and that. And then it just became a whole big thing. He's trying to blame it on mental illness, but then some people are saying, have you noticed that racist white people or crazy white people always use that as an excuse for their fucking racism? You know? It's crazy, man.
That's funny you say that, Joe, because even in like I remember back in school when like the fucking white kids that would always get in trouble, they were always just like, oh, that guy's got mental problems or whatever, right? Like,
yeah. But if it's crypto, it's gang.
Bro, seriously, if it was like a black or a Latino or like an Asian, it's like, oh, that kid's got fucking. He's
problems. Who's his parents? Who's his people?
He's problematic. He lives in a fucking fucked up home or all this shit. You know what I mean? It's like,
it's mental illness. We got to focus on that. He didn't take his medication, and it's messed up because think about it, right? Us being Latino, if we wear street clothing like jeans and shit, they're gonna think we're part of a street gang, even if we're not trying. If we dress up, they're gonna think we're like some part of some cartel or some Dominican Express cocaine thing or some shit like that. You know what I mean? It's fucked up though, right? It's the truth. It's like
I never heard of that guy.
What is this you speak of? Never heard of that.
I was watching Miami Vice. All right, old school episodes. Right? I've been bored with this quarantine, man. You can't blame me, man. I've just been watching some old shit. But anyways, like I was saying though, like it's like a no-win situation. They always assume the worst, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, she slapped back, and if Blends, if you want to show Creto that this new picture that's going viral, it's actually pretty funny, man. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with that meme that you've been seeing around for a couple of years now. You know where Batman is just slapping Robin when Robin is trying to say something, and then the image is Batman slaps him. Do you know what I'm talking about? Well, they actually came out with this new T-shirt. And supposedly it's like gaining traction with a lot of people are starting to wear these shirts, and it's pretty funny, man. I'm sorry, I know the listeners can't see it, but
my bad. I'm trying to get it.
Yeah, no worries, man. But to all the listeners, I know you guys have your opinions on this. I know you guys are probably raged, or either way, you probably don't even see it as a fucked up situation. But I mean, it's something that's really being discussed. I mean, it's crazy, man. I mean, what do you guys think?
Can you guys see what I'm doing?
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Yeah. I see your screen.
Okay.
Oh shit.
So here, I'll show you the picture.
Oh, that's the wrong one. He got the Jefferson challenge.
This is the one. Oh, no.
It's the viral. No, go back. I'm sorry, listeners. Right there. Yeah. So that's the picture right there. And this picture is describing. So they actually have that Karina Rodriguez slapping that girl.
Yeah.
And it's going viral, man. So
I've never seen this till now.
Yeah, it's going viral right now. A lot of people are wearing those T-shirts. There's a lot of different T-shirts out there right now, but some crazy shit,
cool
man.
One. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, man. Now you were talking about the Dave Chappelle 846. What did you guys think about that? I mean, what do you want to talk about that?
I saw like half of it. I like totally forgot. Like my phone died. I saw half of it, but the first half was pretty real. Like it was like the first comedy show with everything going on. Like the first one. That's why like everybody was spaced out. Did you see how everyone was spaced out, Drew?
Yeah, it was crazy because I actually was shocked because I would assume that he would have released it on Netflix directly.
Yeah, it was like on Instagram.
Instagram.
Right?
I'm like, what the fuck?
Totally different. He went totally different there. But yeah, it was the first social comedy show. Like since everything's been going on with the coronavirus and stuff.
How was it the first if you watched the first half, how was it so far?
I want to watch the rest of it definitely.
I'll tell you from what I saw, man, I thought it was great because I thought he was, the crazy thing about Dave Chappelle, he is the GOAT in my opinion. And that stand-up did show me that because he actually didn't even try, man. He was just being himself, yet he was funny, but getting a straight message to the people, man.
Yeah.
Blends, of course.
I'm totally check out the rest of it, but I really did like it so far. You probably like it. It was pretty surreal with everything going on, like people wearing masks and stuff while in the audience and listening to him. And
were they drinking wine too?
Yeah, they were drinking, and he was literally getting into deep stuff like about George Floyd, and the 846 is why he called it because
that's
the time cool. With George Floyd was on his neck, the cop. That's how much time the cop was on.
For real?
That's why it's called 846.
The crazy thing that tripped me out, and I know you guys probably haven't watched it, but I'm just going to give you a highlight without ruining the whole thing. He was talking about the fucked up shit that he was born at 846.
Yeah.
That's the same time that George Floyd died. And then he was talking about how Kobe, like it fucked him up. And the crazy thing is his birthday is August 24th. Now, if you think about that, what number is August 24th?
0824.
824. Who wore 824? Kobe Bryant.
There you go.
So he's talking about how this whole thing was fucking crazy because he's talking about how, I'm not going to ruin it for you guys or the listeners who haven't watched it yet, but he was just talking about how his birth certificate shows he was born at 8:46 a.m., the exact same time George Floyd died. And in 8:24 was his birthday, the day that Kobe.
He was talking about that. That was like, wow, that's why it was so like the first 15 minutes like caught my attention big time. All the stuff he was talking about.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy, man.
But yeah, I've always been a fan of, I haven't seen this latest one. I'm going to have to fucking get on that, but I've always been a huge fan of Chappelle, man. Everything he does, man. Everything he does. Just, and I feel like after he came back from the whole hiatus, like disappearing from the world, he came back more political and more like, I don't give a fuck type. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
He really doesn't care. And
he's got a deal with Netflix for how many, I forget how many.
It's his whatever he wants, probably.
He
just gave him a blank check.
I'm not sure.
He probably got a few.
Yeah, write your number here. Yeah.
Kind of like Adam Sandler's. He has his own deal with Netflix too, right?
Yeah.
Oh, for real? Is that why there's
so many popping up there
productions now?
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I love the old stuff from Adam Sandler's, but man, those
I like Grown Ups. Grown Ups is funny.
I think that was the last one. Yeah. I think that was the last one I actually.
But like the original ones is like Billy Madison. That's just ultimate like that's classic right there.
Out of all the old school Adam Sandler movies, the only one I didn't really fucking like that much, I would not ever watch again Little Nicky.
That was different.
Even Spanglish was like all right, man. Like,
I never saw Little Nicky. Is that the one?
Little
where he's the
Nicky
devil or
was
something
fuck.
like
I
that?
didn't. I didn't
he was like the devil's son.
Yeah, he's like the devil's son. Yeah. He's like the devil's son, and he gets sent to Earth or some shit like that. Yeah. Some weird shit. Yeah.
That's crazy, man. No, I haven't seen it.
I wasn't fucking with
whatever Dave Chappelle is doing, man. It's I'm telling you, man. He's surpassed that level where he's probably not even writing scripts for his comedy skits anymore. Or you know how a lot of comedians have writers, right? I think he's smoking that cigarette and just speaking from the heart, man. But yet,
totally,
he does it so fucking direct. It's just crazy, man. Like I don't think anybody can stand up to that guy. Like on a comic, like it's fucking crazy, man.
No, not in our generation, anyways. Yeah.
And talking about, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, go for it. Go ahead.
I was gonna also mention somebody that you like, Blends. What's that guy's name from SNL? The guy who does all the voices.
Jay Farrell.
Did you hear about what happened to him today?
He had the same. I read that today. Yeah, he had the same thing happen to him.
He was going for a jog in his home. I forgot where. I think it's in Tarzana, California, or something like that. But he was supposedly running, and then some SWAT team surrounded him and put him on the ground. Like, what the fuck is that? And this guy's like a fucking
mistaken
celebrity.
Identity. Yeah.
The scary thing that could happen to anybody, man. Yeah, being a minority, that can happen. How many?
Scary. Well, what's fucked up, bro? What's fucked up is that it's happening while like all these fucking protests and all this shit is just it's insane, man. It's really fucking.
It's kind of like what Will Smith said, right? He has a saying. He says that racism has always been there. It's just being filmed now. That's the difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true, man.
It's not worse or better. It's just being filmed. That's the only difference. But it's crazy.
Yeah, and now people are like, and now that it's being filmed, Joe, like people are like, oh fuck, it is for real. You know what I mean?
And that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. I mean, did you guys ever experience police shit growing up at least once in your lifetime?
Oh, of course,
probably. Yeah.
I mean, and you know the crazy. Did you guys ever have this situation where I would tell people at work or people like, hey, randomly they just stop me, of course, racially profiling, as you're aware, and then they would think that you're just making it up, that you were over exaggerating the situation. Did you guys ever get that feedback?
I've had that kind of feeling before. Yeah.
Where they think you're just over exaggerating. Oh, the police would never do that. They wouldn't stop you because you're this and that. Like, it's fucking bullshit, man.
Yeah.
Seriously, man. It's fucked up, man. I don't even know how they're gonna resolve this whole situation.
Yo, on a like.
I remember. Go ahead, Browns. Go ahead.
Oh no, if it's still about this topic, I was about to switch topic and talk about something else. But if you got something to say, go for it.
Oh, I was just gonna say that I remember like once like having this run-in with some fucking cops, and they like they stopped me and they were fucking being really vulgar, like language and shit, right? And I just remember explaining that. I can't even remember who I was telling about it, but that person that I was telling about it was like, oh, cops would never talk like that.
Exactly. I hated it.
And I was like, bro, the cops were fucking talking to me like they were my fucking like they were my fucking mom or dad, like telling me that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I agree with you. And then I always used to get this a lot. This is Canada. It doesn't happen like that. That's what people used to say.
Bro, it happens all over the world.
But they say that was always the response, man. So you were talking about that cumbia movie? Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, bro, I don't even know how I guess we were just looking for something to watch on Netflix. You know how you just fucking keep flipping. And then we saw this movie called I'm No Longer Here, or in Spanish is Ya No Estoy Aquí or whatever, right? And essentially, I mean, the story is, I guess, this fucking guy. It's focused on this movement of like these cumbia dancers in Monterrey, Mexico, and I guess they have this movement where they dance to cumbia a certain way, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Help me explain it, Blends, because I know I told Blends about it and he liked the movie.
We were talking about it. It's like they basically slowed down the cumbia music to make it a slower beat, and they dance to this style of music, and it's like a whole movement from Monterrey. Is that where they're from?
Yeah, Monterrey, Mexico. Yeah.
So here's the thing. I kind of saw a little documentary because I remember you were talking about that before this episode.
Yeah.
And I saw this quick documentary about. Correct me if I'm wrong. So. It looks cool. I mean, it looks like they're using the Native American elements from Mexico into that dance.
Yeah, which is crazy because when you see them dancing, you kind of see the native Indian influence. Yeah.
And in their hairstyles too is kind of native influence because I know how like the shaves in between and all that.
It's different.
Yeah, their hairstyles are out there. Yeah. What I like too is the whole fucking baggy clothes, because like everybody's wearing fucking like skinny
Nikes
and shit now.
I saw that.
The plaid shirts.
So to see fucking the plaid shirts and the baggy ass clothes, it's kind of refreshing.
And they're rocking some Chucks.
Yeah.
Were
yeah,
they
like
rocking Chucks?
Yeah, bro. It looks
crazy,
G,
man.
bro. It looks cool.
It was pretty good movie.
But if you guys haven't seen it, anybody listening, I really recommend you guys go and watch that movie. If you don't speak, the whole movie's in Spanish, but it's got the subtitles. Right? If you don't speak Spanish, so it's a great movie, and I've recommended it to like everybody I know. Everybody that I know that has watched it has told me, that movie's fucking dope.
So who are the big artists in this genre then? I mean, is there like a Tupac to their genre?
I guess there is. I forgot the name, but
I sent
at the end of the day, what it really is it's Colombian. So what they call the people that listen to this music is Colombianos. But what's funny is that they're not Colombians.
Oh,
they're just Mexicans. Yeah, they call them Colombians because they take Colombian
the cumbias thing,
music, Colombian cumbias, and then they fucking slow them down and fucking you got these cholos dancing to it, which it looks, bro, for real. I've never been a fan of cumbia because in Dominican we don't have cumbia. We got salsa, we got merengue, we got bachata, reggaeton, we got dembow, but we don't have cumbia. Like we don't listen to cumbia.
My pops used to listen to that like crazy too when I was a kid.
I mean, cumbias. I mean,
like I know in El Salvador, like you guys listen to that shit, mad like. It's crazy, a lot.
It's like my mom's hometown, man. that's all they listen to. Well, back in the day, right?
But this is the first time after watching this movie. This is the first time where I'm like sitting here and I'm like
chopping screw.
And I'm listening to it and I'm like, yo, this shit fucking bangs. It's
No Pals Records.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
slow
bro,
down.
It's on some DJ Screw type shit, like from fucking Houston, bro.
But did you guys? I sent you guys the soundtrack of that movie.
And
all the songs are in that.
Actually, I have. Yeah, so I had that thing already because I've been listening to it.
It's so dope.
Can you tell the listeners what's the name?
Practicing my dance, my cumbia moves.
It's the movie. Yeah, no,
so
estoy aquí. The soundtrack.
The soundtrack.
Yeah,
so you can look it up on Spotify.
It's on YouTube. Yeah, Spotify.
Okay. Gonna have to check it out, man.
I was just bumping that yesterday, like right after I watched it. I started bumping that right away.
It goes hard, bro. It puts you in a mood, bro. It puts
Definitely.
you in a mood.
So at our home, we actually I think Blends has seen it, but in our home we actually have this Native American art fighting a Spaniard.
I saw that
in the Mayan ruins.
Yeah,
and the native actually has the exact same hairstyle of these guys that are actually doing that cumbia thing, man. So I was just kind of shocked because as soon as I saw that documentary that you were talking, I mean, you sent it through WhatsApp. I only saw like 5 minutes of it, and I saw that hairstyle. I'm like, holy shit!
It's only like a 10-minute documentary.
This is actually I was telling people, and then we were just having a conversation about this, that I feel like this whole Donald Trump thing has actually made a lot of Mexicans embrace more of their culture, and I'm starting to see that if this is what the new movement is, it looks like they got the Native American, like they're embracing that Native American ancestry into the music because the hairstyle, the way they dance. I've never.
That
seen
was cool,
like that, man.
They were like pretty much crews, right? Were they like crews?
Yeah.
And they all went to parties and they all just danced and had a good time. It wasn't even about like hate or anything. It was all about like love and just having a good time.
No, it is like positivity and just dancing and having like.
What are the lyrics like? Like, what are the lyrics talking about?
It's about everything, bro. Because like I said, it's all they do is take cumbias that are fucking from the 60s, 70s, 80s, right? And they're just remixing them to fucking sound slow. Yeah. They're not even resampling them, bro. All they're doing is like toning down the tempo a little bit.
The tempo just goes down.
Yeah, the tempo just coming down a bit. And then as soon as the tempo goes down, the music gets lower and then their voices get deeper, like on some fucking,
screwed.
It just sounds.
I'm gonna have to check it out, man.
It sounds, bro. Look,
I sent it to my brother.
It's contagious.
It's good. My brother texted me. It's like awesome movie.
Yeah, so he liked it, right?
He loved it. Yeah,
that's good. That's good, man. That's good.
Gonna have to check that out, man. You got me on thinking.
Joe, you gotta watch it tonight.
Like I said,
you gotta watch it.
It's gonna be hard for me to watch tonight, man. But like I was saying, like I saw I mean, like I said, I grew up. My parents listened to cumbias, right? But of course, every region is different, right? Like the Mexican cumbias and all that. But when you showed me that shit, I'm like, what the hell is this? This is so
that documentary. I literally asked
so different.
Beto, I'm like, yo, is that the same guy in the movie?
Is that the guy with the blonde hair? Oh no, the one with that.
No.
It wasn't the same guy.
Not
I
on
thought
that.
it was. That's why I asked him.
You're talking about the Vice documentary.
Yeah,
right?
I saw that's the one.
Yeah. No. It's not actually him. But the hairstyle kind of does look
the same.
like him.
Yeah.
But since you say that, I actually was looking up shit on the movie yesterday, and I ended up watching a documentary on that guy that played that role. And bro, he was saying that he's a no-name dude. Like, this is his first acting role, right? Yeah. And fucking now that he did that, like, he's got fucking just his phone's just blowing up from everywhere, all around the world. People want to make shit with him. So now he's the it fucking guy for.
Did it win the Sundance? Was it from the Sundance Festival?
He won the Cairo Festival.
So you're telling me?
Okay.
So you're telling me in about 3 months from now, I'm gonna start seeing people in my neighborhood with that hairstyle, and that's gonna be the new trend.
Bro,
you never know, man.
The shit's
dope,
huge,
man.
bro. The movie.
I wish I had hair.
The movie is
It's on Netflix now, right? It's gonna reach a huge audience.
And actually, it went straight to Netflix because he was saying that they recorded the movie in 2017 or something like that, and they just finished. They finished everything, like the whole process of editing and fucking getting the shit together.
Yeah.
And as soon as they did that, Netflix just uploaded the movie, like 2 weeks ago or something like that?
So this is fairly brand new then.
Oh, yeah, it's brand new. Netflix uploaded the movie about 2 weeks ago, and in 2 weeks, they've already got like all like critically acclaimed, like, you know what I mean? Like,
fucking dope, man.
It's
That's dope. I gotta see that, man.
and-
I gotta see that.
You'll like it, Joe. Trust
And
me.
like half the people like haven't even seen it yet, bro. Like it's still like an
The potential
underground
is out
thing.
there.
Like,
It's
gonna blow up. Bro.
When you finish watching it, Joe, you're gonna listen to some cumbia, man. Trust me. That's what I did automatically
you're gonna,
after.
Yeah. Bro, I've been in.
You're gonna see my hairstyle in the next show.
I've been in the mirror practicing my fucking slow down cumbia moves.
Nice.
Fucking crazy.
I gotta see that, man. So what is
Dude,
it?
I can
like,
literally,
technique to that?
I can throw them on the controller and literally slow them down with the tempos and stuff and just play them.
That's fucking cool, bro. Blends, you got to do that shit, bro.
Definitely, I should try doing that.
Find some good cumbias and fucking slow them motherfuckers.
So is there an actual official name for this genre of music, or is it just slow down cumbias?
It's called cumbia rebajadas.
Oh, okay. All right.
Rebajadas. Yeah.
Rebajadas. Okay. So everybody listen, you guys want to maybe get that into your Spotify or iTunes playlist.
Pretty dope.
Yeah, that shit's coming from a Dominican that don't even listen to cumbia. That shit fucking bangs, bro.
Yeah, man, that's tight, man. I mean, I like the fact I kind of did see that where they were talking about how they're wearing baggy clothing and the Nikes. I saw everybody with like the Nikes up. I'm like, baggy clothing. Yeah. It's like, what is this? Like, are we going back? I was asking people, I'm like, are we going back from the tight jeans to the baggy shit? Because I could pull all that shit out of the closet.
You mean I can go to a store and not? I can go to a store that doesn't have fucking two fucking pants.
The same.
Like
remember,
everywhere you buy.
So I can wear my blanket.
Everywhere you buy pants nowadays.
This is gonna sound wrong, but I think I was joking with you about a couple years ago, where I'm like, all the donated clothes, all that baggy clothes is donated to Value Village, and now you see a lot of crackheads wearing that baggy shit. You remember? It's bad. Yeah, I don't have anything against crackheads. Just saying. Well, yeah.
Except the fact they smoke crack. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Crack is whack.
It's all good.
So I was gonna say on another thing, and I don't know if you actually want to see this, if you want to share that picture with Flacco. So it's Ray Allen. You know Ray Allen, right? The basketball player. He actually started this challenge on Instagram, where when the actual fucking COVID-19 started, he actually was coming to the point where he's like, he wants everybody to just go all natural and do the Jefferson challenge, which is, you know, the bald spot and let the side hair grow.
Yeah.
And it's been going viral to the point where a lot of celebrities actually have been tagging along. So I actually don't have the whole list right now, but everybody's been doing this. But I mean, what do you think about it, man? Do you think
I just heard this is the first time I've ever seen it. Why is like the Jordan logo in the back? Just sponsorship?
I think it's sponsorship, but he's going hard on it, man. And a lot of people are actually, like I'm saying, like they're saying, you know, during this whole quarantine thing, like, fuck it, just go natural.
You know what's crazy? Now that you say it's Ray Allen, now I see Ray Allen. I didn't when I first saw it. I'm like, who is this person? I didn't know it was him. And then when you say George Jefferson, I see his hairstyle. That's George Jefferson's hair.
So the George Jefferson. So in case the listeners don't know, so in case the listeners don't know, I'm actually bald, like, you know, like kind of other podcast hosts out there that are bald. You know, they actually, I could grow that side shit, you know what I mean? But I won't do it. I just can't do it, man. I saw my dad doing it. The Hulk Hogan with the bandana. But I mean, this is the question: would you guys
spray painted it black? Remember when he spray painted his hair?
I have a couple questions for you. Exactly. So here's the question, though, and I have a question for you guys. A, do you think this can actually make a legit comeback? And B, do you still think you can pick up girls with that shit? Because celebrities are doing this shit, man.
I don't know. This is the first time I ever heard of it.
I don't think it's gonna make a comeback like that. But I mean, I think it's cool that like you got to be proud with whatever God gives you, man. Like whatever the fuck it is, like you got to just rock that shit, bro.
Can you pick up girls with that shit?
Why not, man? Yeah.
Ooh, I like the side of your hair. Yeah, man. So I was just gonna share that shit because I just found that fucking crazy, and like a bunch of celebrities are jumping on that shit.
That's the first one I've seen. I got
hashtag.
It's gonna start popping up. Watch. But have you guys
go on Instagram and just put hashtag Jefferson Challenge,
and it'll pop up?
Sorry, go ahead. What were you saying?
Do you guys even watch any of the verses other than when you watched the Looney Tunes one, right, with Tiny?
That's the last one.
That's the only one I saw, man. It kind of got played out a little bit, man. A lot of people were doing it.
It did, man. It did get played out.
Or the Nelly.
I watched the Manny Fresh and Scott Storch one. That was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that was popping when like quarantine was going on, right?
Yeah,
but I think it's like a series. It's like Swiss Beats and Timberland call it Versus, right? And
is that what it is?
Oh, okay.
It's like they created it like online, basically. And the next one is Alicia Keys and John Legend. Who do you guys?
I mean, I think it's cool.
Man, it's funny because Alicia Keys is like the female version of John Legend.
That's dope. It's gonna be pretty entertaining.
It's hard, man. I've seen it. Believe it or not, I've seen them both live. Believe it or not, they're actually.
I think it's cool because I think that the people that are most gonna watch the shit is probably like kids that don't know about their music. But I mean, us being the age that we are, fucking like 33 to 35, right? Like we kind of know about Alicia Keys, or what? Not just Alicia Keys, but all these people that are making the verses. Yeah. I think the only thing that they gain would be that the kids that don't really know about all the hits could hear a song that they might like and be like, "Oh shit, I like that song. I'll go fucking download."
Well, you know what? I'm starting to see. I was actually listening to Cube 93, you know, the hip hop station down here, right? Yeah. I was ever since this whole. And I'm not going to get back into political, but, you know, this whole George Floyd thing, all the music that they've been playing, all these young artists like Lil Baby, all these people have actually been releasing a lot of fucking meaningful music, man. That was actually kind of shocking and refreshing.
That's
so
good,
it's like,
man.
I've been starting to see that it's going back to that, man.
A lot of positivity, right?
Maybe hip hop will take a turn for the fucking best again, man. Like, that'd be dope.
Because, I mean, it's so odd because they're talking about, oh, you know, Lil Baby came out with this new political song about the Black Lives Matter movement the same day that 6ix9ine came out with that song with the Nicki Minaj and it's kind of contrast because you saw, you know, 6ix9ine is on that shit and everybody else is all serious. It's kind of
a lot of artists have been making songs like that too.
Yeah,
just with everything going on, right? So like even Trey, like you guys see Trey's video?
Yeah,
Black Man.
So can you tell everybody who Trey is? Because
Trey Nice, he's a longtime friend from like back in the day. He's an artist over in Vancouver. Definitely, he's an artist out here in Vancouver, and he just put out a song called Black Man, and it generated a lot of buzz. Actually, a lot of people. He was actually on Hollywood North Radio today, actually talking about it. I didn't get a chance to talk about it, or I mean, listen to it, but yeah, that song's pretty. He's got a nice visuals for it too, with everything that happened in Vancouver with the protests here, right? And like there's other art, like I was saying, lots of artists have put out videos like that, and that's what the direction's going, right? What you're saying, right?
Like it's coming back. But the party's over, basically. It's kind of. I was talking to Steph about that. I'm like, she's like, you know, I noticed like party music is over now. It's like everything's like all serious now. Because, you know, it's true. Think about the conditions we're in right now. I mean, I know in Vancouver they're not in a quarantine like us, but we're still here in quarantine. You're dealing with like race shit and all that, like. A lot of artists can't be talking about, hey, I'm making money and popping Molly. You know what I mean?
It's tough to even think about that stuff right now, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, like who's gonna buy a Lambo? Did you see that video of 6ix9ine where he's like, I buy my shit, I don't rent it. Did you see that shit?
No.
Yeah, he's talking about how other rappers rent their vehicles and shit, but he actually owns his shit. And if you want to get a rent special, talk to him. Like, this guy is like the most like, it's funny. I haven't seen an artist act like that since 50, and I think he's like 50 on steroids when he's like,
yeah, he's pretty much a troll. That's pretty much what
he's
he is.
trolling
He's a troll,
like
man.
times 4, man. 50 was bad back in the days.
Yeah.
I just don't know how it's gonna end for 6ix9ine.
I just heard Young Buck is like bankrupt again.
Bankrupt. He's done.
He's
man.
done again because like 50 won't release him, and he can't sell. He can't like get his project out because 50 won't like release it.
Didn't he just get out of jail not too long ago too?
I think so. Yeah, I heard about that.
He's one of those
Time
rappers,
jail.
man, that just didn't manage their money right, man. When they were on top of the world, man. G-Unit was huge back in the mid 2000s.
Oh, bro,
they were
they had fucking
Everybody knew them. My mom even knew them, man. My mom was like, "Hey, 50 Cent."
I'm not gonna lie. When like the property of G-Unit clothing came out, I was like, "Oh shit, I gotta get me one of those." I got myself one of those for sure. That was awesome.
Man, I remember back in the days, he used to talk about 50 Cent. It's like, they got this new rapper. His name is The Game. He's from LA, but he has a New York flow. I'm like, what the fuck? And
I loved when he did his 200 bars, 300 bars shit. That was awesome when he was doing those mixes with DJ New Jersey Devil.
New Jersey Devil. And he used to talk about this rapper named Aztec or something like that. Who was his name? Aztec? Some rapper. Some
might have heard him.
Mexican
I think
rapper.
you might have. I remember you talking about him before.
You used to talk about that guy all the time, man. I don't know, man. But yeah, man. I mean, I haven't seen a rapper act like 50 on steroids since 6ix9ine, man. I personally don't know how it's going to end up for him, man. Because this guy is just... I don't know.
Personally,
man.
I don't think shit's gonna happen to him, man. I mean, he's just gonna.
He's gonna sell a lot of records. I agree with that. Like,
he's got
you're
higher security though. Like
you were right. You were right 100%, man. This guy's gonna come back and just sell records, and that's exactly what he did.
He literally came back and just balled out. Like, even though he's on house arrest, right? He's still making like so much more. He's making more money than like rappers who are free out there right now. You know, he's on house arrest doing all this shit.
Yeah.
So he's smart. Like, he knows how to get people's attention. Definitely.
Well, exactly. He knows how to do what he's doing, man. It's working for him. Like, I mean, good for him. Yeah, he's a snitch, and he's obviously not a street dude, right? Like, but I mean, what rapper is actually a street dude, right? They're
dead. All the street dudes are dead, man. Yeah, all those street rappers.
Exactly. Or in jail. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Straight up, man.
You remember back in the day, so I used to talk about Temple. Then when he was released out of jail, I was like, "Oh, he's gonna make a big comeback." Yeah. That's a lot of pressure, though, man.
Bro,
you gotta understand that.
I was one of the guys. I was one of the guys that would fucking go to war with anybody that was saying different. I was like, no, man, that guy's gonna come and he's gonna fucking own the Spanish rap game.
Yeah. It is hard, man.
He came out and like just nobody gave a fuck.
It is hard, man. It is hard to, keep traction and go further, man. Remember BG Knockout, another example, man. Dope ass rapper back in the days, but you can't recreate that magic, especially when music is just changing every time, right? It's fucking hard.
I saw this clip.
It's not that he's not lyrical anymore, because
he is
still lyrical as fuck.
It's just
probably one of the best lyricists out there, but just
on trap beats, you can't really do it the same.
You know what's funny? What's funny? Like, Anuel, he made that song with 6ix9ine like before he went to jail, and then like while he was in jail, Anuel was saying, I don't know, I can't talk about that anymore. He doesn't want to talk about it anymore.
Fuck with him.
Yeah, pretty much. And now they're talking on live, and they're like, 6ix9ine wrote some comments saying like, Anuel and 6ix9ine next up or something next record. So he might make another record with him, even though he said he wouldn't work with him anymore. But
that's the thing, bro. Like, it's a business, and when they see money, if they see that it can generate money, they don't give a fuck what they do, bro. Like,
they don't.
Bro, they're businessmen. Like, they're just in the business. It's a music business. They don't give a fuck, bro. And I mean, more power to them. If they find a way to fucking get in people's pockets, then fucking so be it, man. I mean, I
think that's gonna be his Spanish edge into the Latin music with Anuel and stuff, just to get his music out, because he's got to do a Spanish album too, right?
Yeah,
he's got the English and the Spanish.
I always said, man, record companies are just big bank loans, man. They're just loans. That's really all they are, man. Being signed is nothing special, but just a huge loan. They get all the royalties and everything until you pay that shit back, man. Mm-hmm. So I mean, they obviously invested a lot of money on 6ix9ine's legal team and whatever they did. So they're just making all that money back that they fucking lost throughout this whole entire shit, man.
Definitely.
And by the way, in case all the listeners are, I know they're not able to see, but it's great to see Flaco having a little drink right now. Creto has not have a drink. Like, how long has it been? He's been on this
6 months.
He's been on this special diet, looking all pumped up like Arnold Schwarzenegger. But
that's why we were kind of bugging. We were kind of clowning him last on the first episode about the whole McDonald's thing. If we didn't mention that, like I remember listening to it, and I'm like, we forgot to say like he's been on this cleanse diet for like so long. For him to have McDonald's was so out of like the norm, but then you had it like back-to-back weekends.
It's inspiration, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Like Bland's here was talking about he's on a vegetarian diet.
Yeah.
And I actually started thinking about it.
That's awesome.
It's great, man. I mean, I know we clown you all the time. It's true. I love meat, but I mean, I'm thinking of actually my fridge I'm trying to get it empty so I can actually fill it up. I'm actually going to give it a try. It's really hard to stay away from, barbecue and shit.
You know what I just saw, Joe? If it's going to be hard for you, they're making 50-50 meat. 50%.
Yeah, they have the Impossible. It's 50-50 meat?
Yeah,
so
like
it's
half
like vegetables?
No, like half plant-based and half beef. If it's so hard for people to like get away from the meat, it's kind of like a middle man kind of thing. But like,
so you're saying I get my vegetables and my meat at the same time?
You can, yeah, definitely. It's like ground plant-based.
So I don't have to eat vegetables anymore.
Apparently, but it's just I just learned it's all processed too anyway, so it's not like the best for you, but it's an alternative, right?
I have a theory, right? You know how Whopper came out with the Impossible Whopper? Do you guys have that in Canada?
Yeah, I haven't never heard of it. No, I never.
So the Impossible Whopper is actually it's a plant-based patty, and it's huge. People can't tell the difference, right? I've actually had it, and I actually thought it tasted just like the Whopper. Everybody says it's plant-based, right? My theory is, and this is the funny thing, I actually think that Burger King has always been feeding us that plant-based shit.
Probably.
Real meat. And then they basically don't want to get fucked over. They're like, oh, we just invented this. Like, hey.
And it's probably not even plant-based. It's probably like just straight up chemicals. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
well, you hear about Taco Bell? Taco Bell, like a couple of years ago, they actually got sued because they found out one of the workers at one of their restaurants showed that it looks like a fucking eraser, like the old school erasers when you erase something on paper.
Yeah.
They used to get these sheets that looked like eraser, and then they would put it in one of the frying pans, and it would dissolve and then turn into meat.
What?
Yeah. So it was like 50% not real already as is. So it's like it's crazy because I mean a lot of restaurants and a lot of fast food chains, they're not telling you, man. You just don't know what you're eating, man. You just. Like, for example, right, McDonald's, and I don't know how true this is, but there's a saying that McDonald's also wasn't selling you real meat. But there's a company that actually make their wrappers, like, the McDonald's wrappers, and they were called 100% beef. That's the name of the wrapper company. 100% real beef. So they technically weren't lying because the thing says 100% real meat. Exactly, but the patty is not real meat.
Here, I got a question for you, Joe. So, like... Yeah. What's making you kind of like try to think of switching to a plant-based, like vegetarian?
Age, man. Yeah. Age. It has everything to do with age. Some things don't sit well with me, man, at this age. I mean, I'm still young, but I mean, I'm saying like I'm noticing that my diet is slowly starting to alter. And I was actually reading this thing on some NBA players like LeBron James. They actually, during the season, they go on a vegetarian diet because it just helps them. It's just easier for them to stay in shape. Because, when you get older, your metabolism and everything just changes. But it's really based on that, man.
No, that's good though, man.
It has nothing to do that I'm anti like meat. I love meat. Like I love beef. I love chicken more than anything, man. And I love seafood.
I'm looking at Creto here, and I'm like,
but I think I'm gonna try the seafood.
No comment.
Try pescatarian. That's what I'm. I'm not vegetarian yet. Like my next step is to get rid of seafood. Like
now, don't get this twisted, man. I do love chicken. Like when before the gyms closed, I was actually on a poultry and fish diet only, like for meats, and then it's just been hard with everything being like limited and all that. So we'll see how it goes, man. I mean. I was on a roll. I know Creto out here is still doing his workouts, which I think is great. And you gotta work with what you got, man. Like, I mean, people in prison don't have that opportunity. They got to work with what they got. So a lot of the people that are listening, if you're in quarantine and you still haven't checked in at your gym or you can't go to your gym, that's just excuses. You can still make that happen, man.
Check this out. I don't know if you guys could see that, but I keep a
tracker.
Yeah. What, can you guys see it?
Yeah, I see that.
I can see it. Yeah.
It's a month, 137 days.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. Today was day 137, bro.
Holy smokes, man.
Non-stop on this fucking like regime that I've been fucking living, man. It like some days I wake up and I'm like, I don't want to fucking do this shit, you know, but I do it. And
you do it, man. And you know, it's one of those.
It feels good.
It's one of those feelings, right? Like it's hard to do it, but once you start doing it, you love it, and you say, I don't even know what I was trying to.
It's funny. It's funny because when I first started, I was 40 pounds heavier than what I am now. I was like 45 pounds heavier than I am now. And my goal was to lose those 40 pounds in 3 months. And I did that in the 90 days, which was insane, man. But since then, I just been gaining like muscle and like transforming, and it's crazy, bro.
Well, it transformed from, I'll never forget that. Yeah.
Bro, and I went from wanting to do it for 90 days. And then at 90 days, I was like, fuck, I don't want to stop doing it. So I did another 10 days. And then so far I'm at 137. And now I'm telling myself like, dude, I'm going to do this shit for like fucking a whole year. And yeah. Maybe when I complete the year, I'll just fucking keep doing it.
It's like
I only wanted to do it for 3 months. That was like my goal.
Dude, you're like Forrest Gump, right? When he ran up to the end of the road and then he kept going further to the ocean. He turned around and across country and shit. That's like you. You're on that mission right now.
Man,
that's awesome, man.
It's dope, man.
It feels great, bro. It does.
I did the math right. So I'm with the YMCA and I'm paying like a ridiculous amount. It's fucking ridiculous. I don't even know why I'm paying that much. But I did the math and I noticed that if you really wanted to buy all the same equipment, it's going to cost you like $1,200. If you want like
probably.
But if you do that,
cheaper than going to the gym.
But if you do that, I mean, I wish I had the space. But if I did have the space, that you can make that shit. It's actually cheaper to do that than paying a gym pass for the entire year.
Are you on contract, Joe?
No, YMCA is different. It's like, you know, they pause my thing because the whole entire gym is closed. Yeah. So they have these crazy. They called me back. Sorry, go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
No, so they called me 2 days ago and they're like, you know, we're reopening the gym with a new phase. So the way it's going to work is that you're going to have to wear a mask. You have to wear gloves and it's by appointment only. And you have to be, 6 feet away. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, how the hell is this going to work? You know what I mean? Like this shitload amount of people that go to the gym and they're only limiting to like 20 tops and you have to wear masks and stuff. I'm like, can you just keep my account frozen until
you can get in?
Thanks. Because I don't know about. I know you don't like to talk about this, but they're spiking and respiking. Like Illinois is actually top 5 right now, respiking. Like with all the new cases right now, right? Because
dude, they just announced today that there's 19 new cases in BC, and there's one death. But they're still not like
that's crazy, bro.
Worried about it that much.
No, it's not. It's not to the same level as here because you guys don't have stupid people like down here.
And it's officially.
Like, I don't believe in a mask.
It's not.
Yeah, man. The truth is, I mean, everybody has their own thing. By the way, side note, you know how you're talking about that 5G shit?
Yeah.
Some guy actually watched a documentary on that, and he literally went to one of the towers and blew it down.
That's good. That shit's all over the place.
He's arrested. He was this Mexican guy. They have him on a mugshot. He's accused of like putting a 5G tower on fire because of the documentary.
Dude, those things are not good for you, man. They're saying like the radiation those things create is like beyond what your body can handle.
We've had 5G for a while, man.
Neighborhoods and shit.
We have like
over time, it's gonna affect you.
And like, well, isn't it the same 5G? Thing? Isn't it the same thing with those electrical things close to you? You know those big ones that they have by. Have you ever been to the Coquitlam Crunch?
Yeah.
You seen those big? Yeah. Supposedly they generate the same amount of radiation.
Well, I don't know about those things, but these 5G ones are like it radiates to your phone. If you have 5G service, you're getting that radiation.
Yeah.
Too, right? And it's like smaller than 4G, right? Apparently our bodies can handle 4G, but 5G is just extreme.
I was actually watching this thing that lobbyists for phone companies like Samsung and Apple actually have been paying a lot of politicians to not have to disclose that cell phones cause cancer. So if you think about it, we have these phones in our hands, right? We put them in our fucking ears.
Yep.
I'm telling you, 5 years from now, you may start hearing about cases. It's kind of like smoking back in the 50s, right? Mm-hmm. People said, "Oh, yeah, bro, smoking helps your stress. It's okay to be pregnant."
Not just smoking. How about dentists? They used to fucking give people like you got a toothache. Here's a little cocaine. Like they usually Coca-Cola. Like here's a little cocaine for your pain. Like, you know what I mean? And then years later, it's like, oh, you can't be a cocaine. You can't do cocaine. It's like, what the fuck?
It's just scary because if you think about it, I mean, look at the amount of breast cancer because women put, phones inside their breasts, to hide it sometimes. Or, when we're on the phone, think about all the signals, like the Bluetooth signals in your home. That's signals, man. Like your Wi-Fi.
Same with the Wi-Fi, yeah.
Yeah, we all use them. I mean, they're everywhere we go. So, I mean, it's crazy.
It's just a new technology, and it's just, everybody's going to want it because it's going to speed everything up with what you're doing, right? But in the long run, it's not going to help you guys. I don't know. It's a big conspiracy with the 5Gs, and I see those towers everywhere. Yo, dude, like we literally are driving all the time now. We're like, those towers weren't there.
Yeah, and they're hidden too. You know that some of them are designed to look like trees.
A lot came up during the quarantine, right? So who knows? That's what maybe we were told to stay home so we don't see these things coming up. I don't know. See, it's just a conspiracy.
I've
seen one by my parents' house, and it's literally a fake tree. It looks like a fake Christmas tree, but it's a tower.
A fake tree.
Seriously. It looks like one of those old school fake trees. You know what I mean?
Huge, dude. You can't miss those things. Like, seriously, have you seen those?
But they blend them in.
No, I haven't.
They're literally like a tower, but then they have these panels, like solar panels, all around them that like go in a circle around the pole. And it's pretty intense when you see them. Like they're everywhere in Victoria now.
Unfortunately, we'll see the results even from the cell phones because
they're painted to look like trees.
I've never seen one like that. I've seen
some look like
I just see
some
towers.
Look like fake, dude. They look like fake Christmas trees. The ones I've seen, they actually the trunk looks. It has all those solar panels, but they're green, and it actually has these fake like pines.
I've seen electric boxes in not in Victoria in North Van. Those electric boxes from like BC Hydro, or whatever, or TELUS, and they have have like pictures on them, like flowers trying to blend in with like the surrounding around it, but it's like a big metal box.
It's kind of like
that's true.
We'll see, man. But if you think about it, right? I was thinking about it. I'm like, I'm walking with my Apple Watch on Bluetooth, my phone on Wi-Fi with radiation coming through it. I'm watching my big screen TV with fucking radiation, like microwaving food. Like, oh man, I'm fucked.
So much. And your Wi-Fi at home, right?
Yeah, we're all fucked. We're all fucked, bro. We're all fucked.
Yeah, man.
Crazy times.
Well, I mean, I guess we're gonna have to wrap up the show here. We want to, thank everybody for listening. Everybody in Victoria. I know we got listeners in Vancouver, out in Illinois, Toronto, Coral Gables, Florida. We got people in California, Nashville. It's great, catching up with all you guys, man.
Yeah, no, we were all stoked about this episode because it's the second episode now. We're like we're running with it. Like we're gonna go to episode 3 and then 4, and hopefully
This is the second actual episode, but we've done this various times practicing and
Yeah, no, you know what's funny? I was looking like we have the old clips. Joe, you know how this all started? Me and you were doing little conversations and recording them. I have like the clips, like I have the ones that we did. I think we did a little segment before all the 3 wise men started, and we called it Up Late Night with Dro and Blend.
That's right. We gave it a try.
So that's how we started.
Man, we practiced so many times, man.
Yeah, we used to do this before for like a quick thing, and then Alejandro Dro came to Victoria, and we did it with the snowball too. Like we had the snowball in between us, and we tried practicing it with like us two in the same room.
It's just perfection.
We've been trying to practice it, and then we got Greto now doing it with us, and we did a couple runs in the past 2 months. Like every other Saturday, we would record practice runs and stuff.
You're gonna have to give it a try, man. And thanks again for that recommendation, man. I know a lot of people that are listening are probably gonna watch that movie now. Yeah, we're gonna have the whole cumbia movement coming up.
Yeah, definitely. Gotta watch that. Yeah.
Definitely, man. We're gonna see what the next 2 weeks or the next week and a half is gonna show us in news and shit, man. Hopefully,
and we'll come back with more in 2 weeks. Right
definitely. All right. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and wait for the next one. This will be ready by Monday.
All right. Take care.
15th, guys.
Yes. God bless.
Peace, guys. Take care, man.
Till the next one.
Look, there's the 3 wise men.
This is the 1, 2, 3 wise men. We 3 friends on a podcast together again. This is the 1, 2, 3 wise men. We talk about what's been going on and what's happening. This is the 1, 2, 3 wise men. We got Dro, Credo, DJ, are the one. 1, 2, 3 wise men. We are the one. 1, 2, 3 wise men. This is the one. 1, 2, 3 wise men. 3 wise men. 3 wise men.